Ms. Brettany Smith is our next presenter, Army Reserves, a veteran, breast cancer survivor. She's 34 years old, breast cancer survivor from Detroit, Michigan. 7 years, active years in the Army, currently serving in the Army Reserves. It'll be 7 years in December. This information is correct since she was diagnosed with breast cancer. She's also a personal trainer at One Life Fitness at Boston Common. Put your hands together and let's receive Brittany.
Hello, my name is Brettany Smith. I joined the military kind of late. I was 25 when I joined. I went to Fort Sill, Oklahoma for basic training, Fort Gordon, Georgia for my school of AIT. After AIT, I got my orders to go to Wiesbaden, Germany. I was over there for a year and a half. At the time, I was stationed with 5th Corps. My unit at the time was getting ready to deploy to Afghanistan. During that time frame, it was during the summer, I was in my barracks room. I had felt some pain in my chest, and I did a self-exam, and I had felt a knot in my right breast. I made a woman's wellness appointment, and I went to a doctor. The first doctor that I seen was a male. When I went into the appointment, I told him, I was like, I think I have breast cancer. When he did the exam, he was like, you're too young. I was 27 at the time. He was like, you're too young. It's probably just a fibroid cyst. I was like, okay. So a few months went by. I felt some changes. It got harder, and something wasn't just sitting right in my stomach. So I had made another appointment, and this time I had a woman doctor. And I went in, I told her about my first experience with my first doctor, and she was like, I don't understand why he didn't do any type of other test or anything. So she put in an order for me to get an ultrasound. At the time, since Wiesbaden was like a small base, we didn't have a large hospital. So I had to go about 45 minutes to an hour away to Landstuhl. I had to go when I went up there the first time, I went with one of my soldiers for some support because I didn't have family over there at the time. They did the test. They seen that I had a lump. The first test was the ultrasound. They seen that I had a lump in the ultrasound. After that, they was like, okay, let's do a mammogram. They did a mammogram. They saw it. Next up was a biopsy. I was diagnosed December 5th of 2012. It was stage 2B. I was very devastated. During that time, I was like, I didn't know that I thought I did something wrong. I felt like ashamed, embarrassed. But my unit at the time, they were very good because I was diagnosed December 5th. December 13th, I was back stateside in Maryland, and I was at the Walter Reed, the naval base in Bethesda, and they came up with a very aggressive treatment plan. One, for me being so young, and so my treatment consisted of I had a bilateral mastectomy. After that, I went through 16 weeks of chemotherapy, Herceptin, Cytoxin treatment. It was a rough time. I would have to go home. I stayed on site. I was very fortunate while I was there because when I was there, I was surrounded by wounded warriors. So I was just grateful for God because I couldn't imagine having any limbs. So I felt for those soldiers. So I went through chemotherapy, radiation treatment, reconstruction surgery. They gave me the option to come off active duty after I went through all my treatment. I was like, no, I still want to serve. So I returned back to do active duty of March of 2014. I served a few years at Fort Belvoir, the Corps Engineers. After that, I decided, I was like, okay, I wanted to do my passion. So right now, I had got out of November 2017, and I decided to become a personal trainer. Currently, I'm a personal trainer at One Life Fitness in Arlington, Virginia. My way of giving back is to help promote fitness and encouraging people to take care of their bodies, because your bodies, you only get one. My words of encouragement would be, listen to your self-instinct. It would never steer you wrong. All right? Thank you.